Hey there, everyone. Mike Mibach with KTVU Fox 2. On this day, we are talking employment scams during the coronavirus. New study out with some big numbers we need to talk about. Lori Wilson joining us, the president and CEO of the Better Business Bureau in the San Francisco Bay Area in Northern California. Lori, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Eye-opening new study from you guys at the BBB. Three-quarters of those hit by these scams already hurting financially. Tell me more about what you discovered here.
Well, the majority of the people who are falling for the scams can't pay their bills by the end of the month. They are, they are in trouble. And, in the coronavirus world that we live in, you can't find a job right now. People are desperate. And so the con artists are targeting people that are unemployed. I mean, this is, these are people doing some bad things.
When it comes to specifics, I mean, there's probably a number of scams, but one or two that you would want to share with us here?
Well, one of the most common scams is the reshipping. So you're going to get an email or a text. This is the often the way it happens, from somebody who's impersonating a legitimate company. They've searched the job boards. They see that you posted your resume. They're going to send you anything that looks like you might be interested in it. But in particular, the reshipping scam is really bad because it involves so many other scams that have been perpetrated by romance frauds, a variety of other things. And what that basically is this fake company hires you. They're going to send you some electronics, whatever it is, but often it's electronics. And you need to just send this to, whoever they tell you. So they've used a stolen credit card. They bought, let's say, some laptops. They send them to your home address. So potentially you could be on the hook. And then you resend them to where they want you to send them, which is, of course, the scammer who in their area, they're going to just resell them. Sometimes they'll give you the company credit card, and it's really a stolen card. You're going to now go online, you're going to buy it with a stolen card and have it sent to your own home.
And when you say the victims of these scams, the majority of them are currently, at the time they're hit, are unemployed?
The majority are unemployed. The folks that are hit, the folks that lose the most money are 65 and older. But then the 45 to 64, are next, or the older folks lose more money, but the younger folks, 25 to 39, I think it is, they're more frequently hit. They just don't lose as much money.
I mean,
Something that I thought, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I was just going to say, I was going to ask you about age groups, but it seems like everyone's impacted. I mean, you say 25 and older.
Yeah. We think that 14 million people see these bogus ads. They see them. They don't all hit them, but they see them. It's so prevalent. If you're looking for work, you are going to find a bogus ad. There's no question about it. One of the stats that I find really interesting, that military spouses, for people who lost money to these scams, the average loss for non-military is about $1,000. Service members, on average, lose $1,680. Military spouses lose $1,825, but veterans, on average, lose $1,900. So I don't understand how they're being targeted, and it's just shameful.
Especially when it comes to the military community. I mean, when it comes to anyone but the military community and our vets, I mean, getting close to $2,000, I mean, that's, when people are struggling to make rent, and pay the bills, that is a huge number for so many Americans out there. What I'm curious about, I mean, these particular type of scams, they're not new, but if you compare them to other years, or maybe they are new, I know, but were they going on pre-pandemic as well?
Yes, employment scams are not new, especially work-at-home scams. The problem with the pandemic is, obviously, people aren't working. We need to stay home. Many of us are sheltering in place, so we're online all the time. And so you're looking for something, you need something that you can do from home. This is right for the scammers. I always say, all of the research that we've done at BBB show us, if you're lonely, if you're in financial trouble, and if you're isolated. These are three really key factors to getting taken. And right now with the coronavirus, it's the trifecta. I mean, all three of those things are in place, and the scammers take advantage of it.
And you talk a lot about, obviously, this is people from home looking for work and opportunities. I mean, if you had a couple pieces of advice, because these are desperate times with these individuals trying to get a paycheck. Can you throw out one or two things? I'm sure there's a number of things on your website, but maybe right now, just one or two things.
Yeah, I would say people don't get hired on the spot with no interview. That's for sure a bogus thing. If you have to spend money up front to get a job, that's not a real job. Don't do it. Those would be my two biggest factors. Trusting your gut. Don't share your personal information. Go to Amazon and Walmart are the two most impersonated companies right now with the employment scam. So if you get something that says they're looking for work, just go to the company's website and check it out.
And you're naming companies that are really hiring. When people are saying what industries are hiring, what sectors are hiring, I mean, Amazon is always up there at the top.
Yes, yeah. And Mike, the scammers are good. I mean, these people know what they're doing.
Yeah. What about if I'm a victim of the scam? I mean, how important is it for you? You guys rely on these individuals calling in, reporting that they've been victimized. Sometimes the numbers can be even more, and we just don't know that because a number of people just aren't reporting scams, dude. Lori, the importance of people actually picking up the phone and calling the authorities or calling the BBB and saying that this is happening.
I can't stress it more. I'm so glad you asked that question. It's embarrassing to lose money. It's embarrassing to be taken advantage of if you don't take the time to report it. And that's what BBB Scam Tracker is all about. It's so easy to go. You don't have to put your personal information in if you don't want to, but the authorities use it. We share our complaint information with the Federal Trade Commission so that, when the federal authorities find a big problem, it's only because of the people who are able to report it, who are willing to report it. It's really important.
What about who are these scammers? I mean, do you know of anyone actually getting caught? And are you guys able to learn more about these types of individuals or groups? And I don't know if they're in the United States or if they're on the other side of the world.
Oftentimes, I cannot tell you where these generally originate. Oftentimes, the studies that we do, oftentimes they are generating out of the country. And they're usually a gang. They're usually an organized criminal unit that is facilitating it. And as I said with the reshipping scam, there's a lot of these scams that interrelate. They're going to use the same victims. Once you fall in victim, somebody's going to come back to you to try and get more money because they've already found that you might be gullible.
And when you look at where we are as a nation when it comes to combating the coronavirus and this fight against COVID-19, we're not even close to getting on top of this thing based on the numbers and the spikes. Where do you see we are when it comes to employment scams come December and come January?
Employment scams are the top. People are more susceptible to employment scams than any other scam in 2019 and 2018. And I think you hit it right on the head. Based on what's happening with the coronavirus, I think it's going to even surpass the numbers from the last couple of years.
All right.
We are all looking for work, and people are desperate.
Yeah, people are desperate. And as you said, I think, no one hires you on the spot. That is a great piece of advice right there as we move forward. Lori Wilson, President and CEO of the Better Business Bureau there in the San Francisco Bay Area, Northern California. Lori, thank you very much, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Take care.